Good morning, beautiful people. I hope you're having a great day and everything's going well for you. All right, so this is a quick recap of Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 14, episode 5, and it's titled She by Herself. I haven't had my coffee. My eyes are not all the way open, so that's why I have my, what they say, hater blockers on. My sunglasses. It's almost time to get to work. All right. So, on this particular episode titled She by Herself, we know the ladies are all in New York City. They are there to check out Candy's Broadway play, which is titled Thoughts of a Colored Man. So, on this episode, we start back out with the ladies who's at dinner and they're having a discussion once again about Drew and her messy assistant. And this assistant is someone that also worked for Sheree. And the assistant had shared with Drew that Sheree does not pay. So I guess Sheree owed him a few coins. So the ladies are at the table and they're talking about that crap. And then it also came up that the assistant has been spreading the rumor that Drew's husband is also gay. And Drew's husband is taken aback by this rumor because he didn't know it. He never heard of it. So it's like a bunch of chatter at the table about that crap with the assistant. They finally get to the point where Drew apologizes to Sheree for being messy as hell. And then they also turn to Candy and have her to apologize because Candy was one of the main people that took the bone and ran with it about this whole thing of Sheree not paying the assistant. All right, so we get past that crap with the assistant's mess. And while at the table, Kenya, she starts getting text messages and she's also messaging back with her husband, Mark. She's still married to Mark. They're not together, but they're still married. And it's where Kenya brought the baby, Brooklyn, to New York with her and the au pair, the babysitter. And she had the babysitter, au pair, to take the baby to Mark. But now Mark is paging her ass, texting her ass, telling her to come get that child because he got to go to work. Come get the baby, Brooklyn, because he has to go to work. And that agitates Kenya. And, I guess they have like some miscommunication. She gets up. Marlo follows her. Marlo tries to calm her down. She comes back to the table. Candy, everyone wants to know what's going on. Kenya's let them know about Mark being an asshole and everything with the baby situation. And so Candy's like, just stop bringing the baby to him. Let him be the one to step up to come get Brooklyn. But Kenya's not trying to take that route. She's not trying to listen to Candy. We know that's how Candy did with her older child, Riley, and her dad and everything. Like, whatever. Let the dad do what he's gonna do or whatever. But Kenya's like, she's not gonna be relaxed like that. She wants her child's father to be in her life. So she ain't trying to hear Candy. All right. So before they leave the table, Marlo speaks up and she tells Candy that her sex stuff is a little bit too much. We know from previous episode that Candy had all the women, she sent all the women toy or sex toy things, like I think panties with some type of, maybe a battery or something. That shit probably, I'm sorry, it probably you don't need to put that in your coop. But anyway, she sent that to all the ladies and she asked them to bring the panties with the remote on the trip with them. And I guess that's part of the plan. When they get ready to go to the play, everyone's supposed to wear the panties and bring the remote, so their husband can control the remote and have them vibrating or whatever. And so Marlo's letting Candy know that that is just too much and she's not feeling that, and that Candy need to focus more on her own bedroom since her and Todd both has said that they really haven't had any action. So it's that little stuff went on at the table too. But it was nothing serious, but Marlo spoke her piece about it. And I mean, the thing is that we know our girl Candy. We know Candy is always on her hustle and grind. They're there to see her play, and she also wants to advertise her sex line, her tour line. So, I mean, can't knock a hustle. Anyway, Marlo said she ain't feeling that. All right, so the next day we see Kenya and Sonya. They're walking on the streets of New York. They probably ain't even walk far. but they walking together and they're talking. And so, they touch on Kenya's situation with Mark and wasn't really nothing to talk about. And then they touched on Drew. I don't think Sonya is really feeling Drew's character. Well, all the ladies seem to be questioning Drew's character. And, especially with this weight loss program that Drew has came up with. So, at lunch, Kenya brings up the topic. Well, she asked the question, who is the most famous person that any of the ladies been hit on? And so Candy, she mentions that she used to date Gerald Levert, and that they even have a song that they did together, and it's on her hard drive. They just never put it out. I would like to hear that. I want to hear it. And so then it goes to, I don't know who Kenya said. Kenya's always lying, so it probably was a lie. Then they go to Marlo, and Marlo says someone by the name of Gene Simmons, and everyone assumes that it's someone that's up in age, over 70 years old. I think they finally did say that it was someone in the entertainment industry. I'm not exactly sure. But then they go to Drew, and Drew mentions, and Drew is a liar too, so I don't know if it's true. It could be true, who knows. But Drew mentions that the king of the NBA, and we all know who's called the king of the NBA, LeBron, right? She never mentions his name, but she says the king of NBA, of the NBA. So that's who it is. So she's like, the king of the NBA sent her over a drink. He used to fly her out to games. He used to listen to her music. And they was like, what music? Drew has music and everything. But then someone was like, well, how did he do all that? Wasn't he with his current wife ever since high school? So, I mean, but things are possible. Just because, let's say it is LeBron, and what is LeBron that she's talking about, it's still possible that even though he was with his wife, which was his girlfriend at the time, since high school, it's possible that he did step out and holler at other chicks. But I don't know. Hopefully Drew is not lying on that man. Things can happen. Either way, he's with his wife today. So, good thing is that she did not mention his name, but we know who she was talking about. So then they get on to Sheree, and Sheree mentions that Tyrone is not going to be able to come to New York, but she does plan on going to see him in Philly. So she plans to meet up with him, and she calls Tyrone, and they're FaceTiming. So he's speaking to everyone that's in the room or whatever. So, and he lets them know that his plan is to get down there to Atlanta where they are. Tyrone wants to come to the ATL, shawty. All right. So later on, they all go to the play, and they come out a few hours later, and they're chanting Candy's name. Candy, Candy, Candy. So we can take it that it was a great play. Candy's done a great job with this production, with her production part. And then afterwards, they go back to the hotel, and it's where they are to change into their pajamas, because they're having a pajama jam. And the first three people to come down to the pajama jam is Kenya, Marlo, and Sheree. And of course, they get on the topic of Drew and her workout program. And they even question it because they know Drew had a mummy makeover. She had her boobs done, she had lipo, she had a tummy tuck. So they're like, how she's saying that this same program helped her when she actually had surgery. And then Marlo takes it a step further. I think it's Marlo or either Kenya. They go to the website, and the website is not accessible. So, of course, when all the other ladies come and join them, they the first thing that happens when everyone's together is that Sonya, she addresses Drew. She said this is her first opportunity to actually talk to Drew. And she was like, what's she talking about? And so Sonya shares with Drew that she feels that Drew wants her to step up in like situation where Drew would get into an altercation with Sheree. Sonya said she felt like Drew wanted her to step up and say something or be involved some type of way. I don't even know what Sonya's getting that from and why she would even think that. And Drew's saying the same thing. Like, you ain't even got nothing to do with it. So what? I think Sonya was just trying to have herself more in the show, and I guess try to do her damn job on the show. Like, you got to say something, you got to do something if you want to keep holding that peach. So she's trying to have something with Drew, and basically she's saying that she questions Drew's character or whatever. And then they get to the point where they talk about the weight loss program, and Marlo mentions that Kenya went to the website and it wasn't accessible, and Drew's like, oh, it crashed or something like that. And so Sheree asked the $1,000,000 question: why did you get a mommy's makeover if you have this program? Why did you get lipo? You know, you're trying to encourage other people to go through your program, but you're taking the easy way out by going to have surgery. And of course, Drew, she brings up a million excuses about she had a hernia, she got several other diseases, and that's why she had the surgery, to like, she needed those things to really help her out, because when you have a hernia, it stretches out your stomach, all kind of stuff she was saying. I don't trust Drew. I would not sign up for that program. I'm a big girl, need to come down, but it ain't gonna be through you, Drew. Anyway, it just goes on and on. So the next day, we see Sheree. She's in the car. She's traveling from New York to Philly to meet her boo, Tyrone. She calls him as soon as she's like approaching, getting close to their meeting spot in Philly. And the phone is going straight to voicemail. And she's like, what's up with that? You know, so she continues to try to call him, still not getting him. She gets to the restaurant, sitting outside, waiting for Tyrone. And she's still calling him. And this time, while she's at the restaurant and calling him, instead of getting the voicemail, she's getting the dun 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 dun. You like, you know, like the phone is completely off, or either she's been blocked. She even reaches out to her daughter and explains the situation, and her daughter's like, did he block you? You know? So after waiting over an hour, I would say almost an hour and 40 minutes, a long damn time, the producer comes out and he tells Sheree that they're on the phone with the attorney. And it seems to be that Tyrone's probation officer, parole officer, I don't know the people, I don't know the terms. Anyway, his folks that has him on lockdown is saying that that would be a violation of his probation for him to come out and meet Sheree. And Sheree's not understanding, because she said they meet all the time, and that Tyrone could have told her that already. Like, he didn't have to not communicate with her, and now he's not even answering the damn phone. So she reaches out to Kenya, and she tells Kenya about what's going on, and she starts breaking down crying, because I'm quite sure it's hurtful to be stood up like that. And Tyrone didn't even let her know. He didn't even tell her. So Kenya's like, you know, just, this is strike one, and Sheree mentions this is like strike 51. So Tyrone's been doing a lot of things that Sheree don't like. And so Kenya's like telling her, well, you get your fine behind up and just go on through the airport and get your butt back to Atlanta, and not even worry about him. Don't even call him. Let him be the one to reach out or whatever. So that's pretty much how it ends. So I don't know if Tyrone and Sheree are going to reconnect or not. I kind of feel like they will, but yeah. But I really feel that Sheree could do much better. Yep. So overall, it was a pretty good episode. I've seen better. I've seen worse. So they still have my attention. I will be tuning in for the next episode. Thank you guys so much for checking out my video. I hope you continue to have a great day. Thank you for subscribing. If you have subscribed, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. And you're always welcome to leave a comment. Please click like. And as I mentioned before, I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye.